All right, so Republicans' new brilliant strategy is to attack each other, apparently. There's two reasons why I'm not a MAGA Trumper, because I don't align myself with party. I align myself with issues, and I align myself with a person that has that will support the issues that I think are most important. Maybe that's the best way I can put it. And I think a lot of people are like that now. But the left has an unbelievable hive mind. The left just, no matter what, whoever's in power or whoever decides this is the new thing, they stick together like glue. They stick like white on rice. And that's why they're so overwhelmingly powerful, because they stick with each other on every single issue. Now, I don't think Republicans do this because they're stupid. I think they do it because Republicans and maybe even moderates and independents, they're all free thinking. They all have their own opinions. Some of them are strongly opposed to other people. And Republican, or at least whoever's voting for Trump and probably Republican this time around, is more likely kind of I may not be all in. Some guys are all in on Trump, but other guys may not be like, I'm all in on him, but it's more like, I see what the left is doing, and this is really bad for the country. So the other, Joe Rogan plays the game kind of smart. He said that he thinks Trump is a pretty good candidate. He thinks Trump was extremely tough after he caught the lead in the ear and decided to get back on his feet and yell, fight, fight, fight. He praised all of that. But then when being asked which candidate he supported, he decided to say JFK. It's a good way not to piss off your non-Trump supporters. It's a way to kind of stay middle of the road, fence sitting, which I understand. Because when you've got that many people, once you start taking sides, you're definitely going to lose some support. Not JFK, RFK. I know what I meant. You know what I meant. Shut up. I definitely need some coffee today. RFK is what I meant. You can definitely tell it's Friday and I haven't had coffee. Whew. Long day today. So he fenced it a little bit, and I believe he and RFK are actually, if not friends, at least very simpatico on a lot of their thinking. Remember, Joe Rogan's not conservative. He never has been. He's always called him kind of a center leftist because he believes in a lot of the social programs. He believes in, the environment and other things that RFK also stands for. So after Joe said that he'd probably vote for RFK, of course, the internet goes crazy. And first and foremost, Donald Trump responds. And this is, again, I like some of what Trump does. And I like some of his policies. But his pride, I often think, gets in the way. I think he takes everything personally. And with Trump, you're either on-train Trump or you're garbage, as far as he's concerned. I really believe that. I think he's even said the equivalent before. Former President Donald Trump responded on Friday on social media to podcast host Joe Rogan's praise of independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. amid this year's presidential election. In a post to his Truth Social account on Friday, the former president suggested that Rogan, a podcaster and commentator for the UFC, would be booed at the company's next event he attends. Rogan spoke highly of Kennedy Jr.'s campaign during an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience released on Thursday, saying that the independent candidate was the only candidate that makes sense. Trump's post on Truth Social said, "It will be interesting to see how loudly Joe Rogan gets booed the next time he enters the UFC ring, ? Trump wrote on Truth Social, adding MAGA 2024. This is This is a stupid move by Trump, to be honest with you, because again, I plan on voting for Trump, but I also like Joe Rogan. And I don't like, it's like when mommy and daddy are fighting. I don't like when media personalities and politicians and people that I like start arguing with each other, because it makes it very awkward and very uncomfortable. Because I listen to Joe Rogan's podcasts whenever I can. I don't have enough time recently. I like Joe's takes on a lot of things. I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but I think he puts forth an interesting program. Trump, I think, has his own issues, but I like a lot of his political policies, and I've even said that's my plan for my vote this year. But when you start doing this, you start alienating people, and this is what I hate about the Republican Party. And it's like I said in the beginning of this video, it is so annoying when everybody starts fighting with each other and arguing, and it's like, do you realize all you're doing is making everybody dislike each other? Like, that's all you're doing. You're making strife. You've got an incredible target across the aisle. You've got Waltz, who's basically like an avowed socialist. You've got Kamala Heels Up Harris, who's an avowed socialist. You know, if they get in, it's going to be open borders. It's going to be money giveaways. It's going to be complete catastrophe in any conflicts we get into. It means more of the same and worse. More LGHD TV, like federal crap that's all for, the kids stuff. With the boys can be girls and girls can be all that crap. You know it's going to be worse. And so what do they spend all day doing today? Yelling at each other. Like, just, okay, so King Kane Rumble says, well, how are Republicans fighting if Rogan's a lefty? I'm going to show you. Florida, so I'm just going to read down through tweets, because this is, everybody argues on X because that's where the conversation is. So this is a Republican guy right here, very Republican. So Trump's attacking Joe Rogan. What a stupid effing child. Trump joins his supporters in attacking Joe Rogan. So now you've got people attacking Joe Rogan. Then you've got other people saying, Joe Rogan, in his own words, for the record, this isn't an endorsement. It's just me saying that I like RFK Jr. as a person, and I appreciate the way he discusses things. That's got 74,000 likes on it. And now we have other people. Trump supporters have a lot of nerve flipping out because Joe Rogan said some nice things about RFK. During the greatest attack on liberty in modern U.S. history, Trump praised lockdowns. He demonized countries not locking down and brags to this day about the BS jab. Someone else, I'm fine with Joe Rogan endorsing AFK. Someone else, I'm trolling this. Like, everybody is, all these conservative people have taken sides now. And some people are saying, oh, how dare, Cat Turd, and I know that's a funny name. Cat Turd is a very, very large X account. I think he's got like 1 million or 2 million followers. Of course, now that I want to pull up one of his tweets, I can't find any of them because that would make my life easy. But Cat Turd came, yeah, here it is right here. This guy Cat Turd, who's got like, I don't know, 1 million or 2 million followers, he comes out with this poll. And Cat Turd's a huge Trump fan, I get it. But he's also said he's a Rogan fan. And he says, who has the gayest, low IQ, dumb, male, blonde, joke, political infant podcast in the world? Joe Rogan or Joe Rogan? And then you've got other people saying, like, look, we're not the left, man. We're not the left. We can disagree with each other. And it's just an absolute meltdown. And it's stupid. It's all stupid. But the reason why it makes me so damn mad is because as if we don't have literally 100 other things to call out for on the left. And this happens every election season. It happened with the DeSantis, Haley, which Haley's a leftist, but DeSantis and Haley and Trump, and you had Trumpers saying, I'd never vote for DeSantis. And DeSantis supporters, I'd never vote for Trump. Now, in the end, will they? Probably. Well, what does this solve? And that's why it's so stupid. And that's why, in many cases, I find not just the Republican Party stupid in many ways, but I find that their supporters are like either rabid animals that if you disagree with them, you're out of the club and they hate you, and that which is very much like the leftists, or the more open-minded ones, which is like myself, that's like, I don't care. You do what you want to do, but understand the ramifications of what happens if we split the vote too many ways and the left gets in. Understand what happens with that. And then you get called names because you're not, I don't know, you're a fence sitter or something else. This is just the madness. And I don't know if it's people being stupid. I don't know if that means that they've got like the opposite of TDS where they're like in a Trump cult. But it doesn't do anybody any good. And all they end up doing is alienating and making a lot of people get kind of pissed off. Because I'm one of them. I'm so tired of this stuff. Like, grow up. Just grow up. God, we're in the year 2024. We got so many issues, so many other things to argue about, and this is what they decide to spend their energy on. And it's tiring. It's so tiring. So I hope they grow up. I hope that Trump attacking Rogan is not a smart move. Rogan, I think he gets like almost 11 million views on his or at least listens, I should say, not views, listens on his podcast every week. There might be some people that are on the fence for Trump. But they like Joe Rogan and they listen to his podcast, and then they see, Trump, who maybe they're not super tight with, seeing him attack a podcaster they like, and they're going to be like, you know what, F that guy. Like, I don't need this. He's got I like Trump because he is what he is. And he speaks his mind, and if you don't like it, he's like, screw you. I like that about him. But when you're going into election season, and let's be honest about this, all this controversy will go away before Election Day. This isn't going to modify the vote. But this is a point in time where you kind of have to say, can we at least get together and maybe pay attention and maybe do something about perhaps the biggest threat to our country, which is socialism and these weird policies and open borders and all the rest of it that we're going to have 4 more years of if we don't get a Republican and a Senate, or a Republican Congress and a Republican presidency. Like, can we not just freaking grow up? It's so frustrating. So I'll say this, guys. You're going to see it. Everybody's going to be arguing about this stuff. Don't let it phase you. Don't jump into it and get involved with all the other mouth breathers and just move on. But it's stupid. It's so stupid.